What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Dude Jackson. Back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Guys, I don't really participate in the interracial dating arena. I don't at all, right? But I do understand this is content that black men are interested in. This is content that black men like to talk about. And obviously we do have some black men who are, dating black women that date non-black women. And a lot of times when we take into account maybe what kind of, non-black women that black men get, sometimes, it can be a lot, to be left alone, right? I mean, if you look at, let's say for Cynthia G's, she has a segment called Who They Choose, in which she's exposing, these, kind of like overweight women that are with these black men. But the question is, what about black men who are in another bracket? Are white women attracted to them? Okay. And that's very interesting because, there is Jane Fonda. All right. Now, Jane Fonda was like an American icon. Even in the 80s when she was, in her 40s, I mean, obviously she was married to Ted Turner, who was a billionaire. Jane Fonda, it was very, 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 very popular. Especially in the 60s and in the 70s. And what she talked about was that she actually has some regrets in her life, right? And she was talking to the New York Times. And she says that one of her biggest regrets was that she didn't sleep with Marvin Gaye. Now, everybody knows who Marvin Gaye is. Marvin Gaye is, an African-American icon singer that was killed by his father. He was from D.C., just a great, great artist, right? And he was just, very, very popular. And everybody knows that. He died on April 1st, 1984. I remember my mom telling me about that because people thought it was an April Fool's joke. But Jane Fonda was highly attracted to Marvin Gaye. And Marvin Gaye was highly attracted to Jane Fonda, so much so that Jane Fonda, he had a picture of her on his refrigerator. Now, he would talk to her and they would cross paths, but nothing ever came of it, all right? And she said that basically Marvin Gaye wanted to mess with her, but she didn't do it because at the time she was married. And she said she wished that she would have done it. And that's a big regret. Now, this is a woman that was, married to a billionaire, right? Ted Turner. She's always had, highly successful white men. What is it about Marvin Gaye that she liked? Now, and I want to talk to black men about this because does this mean that, obviously it was a different time. She could never marry a Marvin Gaye in the 80s. It would have, been like total career suicide, right? But are rich white women attracted to black men? It doesn't shock me that she says this, all right? But here's what I think. And I feel this is the case. While she wanted to sleep with Marvin Gaye, I simply don't see her marrying or having a long-term relationship with somebody like Marvin Gaye. All right? And I think this is what we're seeing still in America, because outside of the Kardashians, who, obviously they got their wealth by dealing with black men. And so, it makes sense for them to deal with black men. That's their base. Or it was where their base started. So that's where they got their money. But from what I'm seeing is that you know, when you talk about rich white women like Jane Fonda, I can't say that still they're interested in, I would say, marrying black men on average. All right, I know that you have your things here and there. And, you know, Marvin Gaye, most of them thought he was, you know, attractive and things like that. Again, it goes back to, you know, I would have slept with him and I probably would have stayed with my husband. And to me, what it tells me is that Jane Fonda looked at Marvin Gaye as you know, hey, this is a fling. Now, but nobody to marry. Okay. Now this is what I think. What I'm gonna say is very controversial, and this is why it is important that as black men, you know, some of us should take some offense to this, but at the same time, this is why I talk to black men all the time. We need to make money off of our own communities and build things where we have more power. Because I honestly, for me as a black man, I take offense to, you know, well, I wish I would have had a fling with you. Well, so if the brother's not, you know, worth the marry, he don't need your fling. And I know a lot of black men are better than that to be like, well, look, Jane Fonda, you can save what you got, go over and stay with whoever you with. And what I really feel is that for, you know, because a lot of white women in America, I still think that for those of them that have better options to long-term marry and claim somebody, I think like on the low, they'll sleep with black guys, but just to go out and claim a brother and stuff, like I don't really see that happening. A lot of white women who have money and come from prominent families just have too much to lose. I think that the white women that you see that are dealing with black men, I'm talking about the ones that are at the top of their game. They look beautiful, come from a good family. It almost rarely never happens. I think that because there's a lot to lose for white women dealing with black men. Now, for white men that deal with black women, there is still quite a lot to lose, but white men have a little bit more leeway with that. You know, a white man marries a black woman, it's not as bad as, you know, for a family, a white woman that marries a black man. And I honestly believe that, you know, I don't know if she thought she was doing somebody a favor or something, but she's totally not. That's the biggest regret. Her biggest regret was that she didn't sleep with Marvin Gaye. And, you know, that would have been the end of it. She would have been back to her white husband. Marvin Gaye would have been the side dude. And that would have been it, right? So, I don't know, man. What do you guys think about that? I thought that was very, very interesting, brothers. You know, shout out to everybody out there. I really appreciate all that you're doing for the channel. Subscribe. Hit the bell. You know, check out the Patreon. Check out all the stuff, guys. And I really, really thank you for what you're doing. As you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. Check out the Black Men Perf t-shirts. And I'm out. Peace.